We are in for a treat here. Some incredible views of this massive glacier.
The Swiss Alps 100 is truly a bucket list race, but the route is also extremely challenging, and the summer heat in the Swiss Alps should not be underestimated.
And it got really hot on that climb up to the summit there.
I ran the race in July of 2024 with support from Audrey, as both the Hardrock 100 and Western States qualifier, as well as a preferred qualifier for the Badwater 135. And it was definitely one of the most beautiful but difficult 100-mile races I've ever run. The race starts and finishes in the town of Fiche, in the Valais region of Switzerland. The 100-mile course loops around both sides of the valley, climbing a total of more than 10,000 meters, roughly 33,300 feet, plus equal descent. We arrived in town the afternoon before the race and headed straight to racer check-in near the start-finish area in the center of town.
Got my bib, number 101.
I feel pretty rested, and I'm just excited to get out there and see some new big mountains that aren't the San Juans. I've been to UTMB to photograph, but it's the first time actually running, so I'm excited.
After a few selfies, we headed out on a shakeout run with our friend Benny. Before heading back to the hotel to get organized. We finally arrived in Switzerland. We were in Iceland last week, and after a short layover in Oslo, we arrived this morning just in time for racer check-in. And then we went for a short shakeout run. Now I'm just finishing getting all my kit ready. This is my race kit, including my warm weather gear, my nutrition, and my drop bags. My headlamp is just charging over there. It's a newer model from Phoenix that has a single spotlight, so it's a little bit lighter than the one that I usually use, but just as bright. And that'll last throughout the night on a single charge, but I do have a spare battery as well, just in case as required by the race. And I've got the route all loaded up here on my Coros Vertix 2S, and that will also last me throughout the race on a single charge with plenty of battery to spare, and the turn-by-turn navigation will ensure that I don't miss any critical junctions on the course. And for nutrition, I'll be fueling primarily with products from NAC, including the new energy gels, using the caffeinated ones for at night, along with their new soup mixes, which I think will be great for at night as well. And I've actually planned out my nutrition strategy using NAC's online nutrition planner here on their website. And I'll likely supplement this with some food from the aid stations as well, but I do like to be self-sufficient whenever I can in a race like this, and that extends to drop bags. So even though Audrey's going to be crewing me at some of the aid stations, I do still have a few drop bags, and that way, best case scenario, she'll show up in advance and she can grab my stuff from my drop bags and get it all ready for me. So I'll be bringing those drop bags with me to the start of the race, which is in just about 12 hours from now at 7:30 a.m.
Okay, drop bags. Let's do it.
After an early breakfast, we headed back to the town center to prepare for the 7:30 start, where we ran into a few familiar faces, including my friend Florian, who you might recognize from my Racing Georgia series.
We're going to start 160K in 9 minutes, so that's going to be exciting. Then a little downtime, and then 9 o'clock is the verticals. Yeah. So they're going to go all the way up to Eikeshorn, and tomorrow we do it again with 50 and 100K.
I mean, it's going to be a hot one. I'm doing the 100K tomorrow. I usually wilt in the heat, so I'm just going to be nice and chilled. Hopefully, they've got some ice at the aid stations.
Keep hydrated. It's going to be hot today, okay? Just enjoy, and again, thank you so much. We almost go time.
You ready for this?
All set. You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
7:45 here. I'm making my way to the very first cable car to go to the first aid station. We did not rent a car, hoping to rely on trains and buses and cable cars. So it could be a little bit hectic for me today, but I'm excited. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Okay, looks like it's gonna be about 25 minutes. So it's a bit tough. Hello.
So we're just under an hour in, just under 5 kilometers with about 900 meters of climbing. And I've pretty much been sweating buckets since the start of this climb here. So I think today it's gonna be all about heat management and hydration. Dunked my hat in that creek back there, and I'm aiming to drink at least a bottle pretty much every hour with about 300 calories. We'll see, it's still early. It's only gonna get hotter from here.
We started with a long climb out of the valley to reach the first aid station where Audrey would be waiting. From there, we'll traverse and pass through another aid station where we'd begin a big loop, passing over a huge suspension bridge before doing an out and back up a climb, and then descending to cross over a dam before climbing back up to the aid station where I'd see Audrey again at the 41K mark.
Okay, so that was actually just a 7-minute gondola ride up to the first aid station here. The 25-minute is to go all the way up to Eggishorn, which Jeff doesn't go there, but I will go after I see him here just to take in the view and go for a little hike up there. It's supposed to be one of the most spectacular views in the Swiss Alps. For now, we're expecting the leaders here at the first aid station shortly. Yeah, I wonder if that could be the leader of the race.
Yeah, my name's Sarah, and I'm running my first ultra tomorrow. I'm very excited and super scared, and yeah, I'm so grateful because you guys inspired me to do this.
Bravo, bravo!
Merci pour la vidéo.
Ah, ça fait plaisir! Bravo Florian! Bravo! There's a big bag coming there, and I think I recognize Jeff. Yeah, I recognize his gait right there. Could spot him from miles away.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
You looking good?
So far so good.
Yes? Can't keep up with his hiking pace. Oh, Canada, go dirty! Okay, you got 9K to the next one.
Okay.
Okay, so I just saw Jeff here, looking good. He says it's already really warm. I'm not surprised. But yeah, it's early on. I will see him again at the 41-kilometer mark. I just have to take a different cable car further down the valley.
Well, my previous running of this race involved a really fast first 40K and then a spectacular blow up. I think the downhills are what really make or crush your race.
Yeah.
I'll be extra careful on a couple of long downhills.
Yeah.
Save my quads.
Just look at that view. Merci. Okay, through that second aid station, I had a drop bag there, so replenished my nutrition. I grabbed a couple purees and gels, and I had a couple of pre-filled baggies of knack powder for my flasks. And now we're descending on a little bit of a technical stretch here, which I suspect will slow people down a little bit. I think we're all running a little bit fast.
All right, I'm up at Eggishorn and I'd say this was worth the detour. So I believe that is part of the course down there. They went around the little lake before coming up to the aid station. So this is the finish line of the vertical kilometer here. But it's almost 11 a.m. I should start making my way back down to town, and then I have to get to the next aid station to see Jeff. And I think it was going to take me about an hour to get there, so I don't want to miss him.
Wow. Love those bridges.
There are more bridges to come.
Yeah, there's a bigger one, right? Just settling in to another big climb here. And I just love being able to see the elevation profile on my watch here, because even though I'm not very familiar with the course, it really helps me to visualize it, which I find really helps mentally as well. All right, so I stopped at that creek back there to pull some water with my Solomon XA filter cap. I took a little extra for the road and dunked my hat again because it is getting warmer. So I need to increase my fluid intake to keep up with my increased sweat rate here. Phew. Okay, just a quick stop at that aid station for some iced tea. And I filled up one of my bottles with more of the knack powder that I had, got some more water. And now we do a little lollipop up here, come back down to that aid station, and then head back the other way. Look at that. Nice job.
Good too.
Nice job. Allez, Florian. Okay, the race leaders are coming through on this out and back here. And that was Florian, who I met in Georgia during Racing the Planet. Hi. Looks like he's maybe top 5. Killing it.
I think it's one of the most beautiful 100-mile races in the Alps.
Yeah.
I'm very proud to be here, and I'm lucky to see you here.
Well, glad to share some miles. So you did the Eiger 250.
The last 2 years, yeah.
How was that?
It's a very great race.
Difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great race, but I want to run the Hardrock or the Badwater in the next years.
Yeah.
In the next 2 years.
You need your qualifiers.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you there next year.
Yeah, I hope so.
Both you and I.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So 2017, the first race, we had an 80-kilometer and a half marathon. We got like 50 registrations. The second year in 2018, we actually went to 95. 2019, again, we experienced a pretty good jump and we added another distance. It's just keep growing. Last year we had 729. Then this year we had like 1,034 runners from 52 countries. You see everything here. You see the glacier, you see the Alps, and it's definitely like a lot of people's destination race. So that's why we have so many international runners, I think, because they really make that their dream race choice of the year. So they train for it, they bring the whole family, they make a vacation, and so I think that's the really draw, because everybody can really have something out of this. I had comments this year from runners who ran UTMB and this one, and I always thought it's gotta be like similar, right? They say there's no way, this one is harder.
Hey, nice job. Hey, nice job. All right, through that aid station again after that lollipop up there. Grabbed a bit more water, a glass of iced tea, that's going down really well, and a couple slices of apples, but otherwise got out of there pretty quick. And now, well, we're headed this way. Hey.
Okay, so a little bit of an adventure getting here to the next aid station. I'm trying to meet Jeff at the 41K mark. So I took the train from town and then another cable car, and now it's saying it's only like a short hike, but Google Maps says it will take me 25 minutes to get there. So that is the aid station way up there. The description from the website says 150 meter walk. I guess they meant 150 meter uphill. Hey.
From the Netherlands, living in Switzerland, and what brought me to this race? A good question. Thought it was a good, small race. First 100 miler, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but it's hot.
Yeah.
I think we all agree on that.
Yeah, definitely do. Now we're crossing this dam. They love their mega dams in Switzerland.
All right, he's on his way up. Woohoo! Welcome, welcome.
Oh my God. How many GoPros can we get going at the same time?
I see.
Inception.
1, 2, 3. You go that way.
So I already took those knack baggies. You might have
Yes,
noticed,
I saw that. So I have some more for you.
Okay.
And then you go up.
Back out there.
Back out there. You got this. Okay, so that was a quick stop. 6-7 minutes maybe. Replenished his water, his knack. Took a few more gels and a Snickers bar. He's in good spirits. It's hot, but I mean it's hot for everybody. I'm gonna go take a nap and see him at the halfway point in a few hours.
We'll now traverse alongside a massive glacier, the largest in the Alps. After reaching a remote aid station, we'll cross another huge suspension bridge as we descend along a series of very technical trails. We'll continue to traverse before eventually reaching a runnable stretch on the valley floor to an aid station at the halfway point of the race, where Audrée will be waiting.
Okay, back through that aid station after about 41K, after doing that big loop around the dam there. And saw Audrée there, had my drop bag again, which she helped me with, and looking forward to some cooler temperatures tonight. But first, We are in for a treat here. Some incredible views of this massive glacier coming up. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so we're dropping down now away from our view of the glacier, but that was by far one of the most scenic sections of any race that I've ever done. I've done a lot of beautiful races, but wow. You can see the refuge up there a little ways where the next aid station is set up. And so while I have been pulling water here because it was quite warm and exposed, I'll probably stop and refuel a little bit there as well at the next one. Okay, through that remote aid station, pretty minimalist, but they did have some soup broth, which I had with some bread and some apple slices. Got my water refilled, and now we've got a big descent down to the next major aid station. And so far, it's pretty technical, so this could take a while.
Bridge there.
We're going across that? We are. So there is another massive suspension bridge over here. Much bigger than the last one, much higher. Just hope nobody's afraid of heights. Okay, quick stop at that aid station back there. Just had some snacks while the volunteers refilled my bottles with water. And it's now 7:45 at night, so it's gonna be dark before we know it. Headlamps will go on, but I believe it's gonna be a short night as well. It'll be just 6 or 7 hours of darkness. Still feeling good, as I should, given that there's close to 100 kilometers left in this race.
Okay, so it is 8 p.m. So I'm gonna make my way to the 80k aid station now. Blitzingen, 2.5k walk to the train station, and then it's only about 20 minutes up the valley. Did a little outfit change. I've got my running pack on because that is the last train at just before 9 p.m. Which means there's a very good chance I need to just run back here to catch some sleep tonight because there's no other transportation available. It's all right. It's a beautiful evening. I'm prepared and I'm excited to see Jeff again.
Well, it's just after 10 o'clock and we did some climbing, some traversing. Had a little bit of confusion with the flagging. There were 2 course changes because of some flooding here in the area just in the last few days. And it doesn't look like I have the most recent GPX file, but a couple other runners and I problem solved it, worked our way through it. Didn't lose too much time, hopefully, and we should be arriving at the next aid station shortly here. Yeah, that was a little confusing, hey?
Yeah, but we 3 brains.
3, yeah, that's right, yeah.
We was
teamwork.
A good operator.
Yeah. Well, that was actually just another small aid station. I didn't realize there was one more before the aid station at the halfway point. But I did grab some bread with cheese and some fruit. Refilled my bottles, one of them with my last pouch of knack powder that I had. And the next aid station is only about 5 or 6 kilometers away. I've already run about 1 kilometer of that through the village here. So that should definitely last me until then.
Okay, so I've watched quite a few runners coming through and Jeff looks like less than 2 kilometers away according to the tracker. So I'm expecting him here really soon. He made quick work of that section and looked super runnable, so I'm not surprised. And my trail back to my hotel actually follows the course for about 8 kilometers. So, and you're allowed pacers from here. So I think I might just jump in with him for a few kilometers if he will have me. I'm ready to go. I just need to take my pants off and my puffy jacket off and I could go with him. That could be fun. This is the brightest headlamp I've ever seen, so it could be Jeff. Is it Jeff?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I just said I think this might be Jeff because that's the brightest headlamp I've ever seen.
Yeah. Because I was filming.
How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're doing great?
No, I feel great. That last stretch
Awesome.
was like 5K on the road.
I know, so runnable.
So runnable. It was a nice change from what we just did. Hey.
Hey, Jeff.
All right, through the aid station at the 80 kilometer mark, just over 15 hours. Feeling pretty good. Getting a little tired, but look who decided to join me.
Hi. This is fun.
Yeah. This race actually allows pacers, which is rare in the Alps, but Audrey has to get back to the hotel anyway, and she's missed her last train, so she's got to run back anyway. So she's going to run the 8K back to the next aid station.
My first time pacing you.
That's right.
Although I feel like it's not really pacing, I'm mostly just like joining for a few kilometers here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is nice.
Hello. Okay, through that aid station where I had some delicious food, fried potatoes with an egg on it, refilled my bottles, and I used the bathroom in the restaurant next door. Audrey had peeled away just before the last few switchbacks to take her trail back down. And now we continue to climb. I think we've got another 900 meters to go here. So, time to put my head down and get to work. That was a really big climb, followed by a quad crushing descent. But I am about 1 kilometer away from the aid station here at the bottom of this valley. Get a chance to refuel and regroup. Good morning.
I'd climbed back up and over to the next aid station at 122 kilometers. I'd now start another big climb as the sun rose. before beginning a long lollipop to the end of the ridge and back to the aid station at the 132-kilometer mark.
Okay, so it's 7:30 a.m. Which means I've been on feet for exactly 24 hours. And this part of the course overlaps with the Swiss Peaks 360K that I did back in 2019. So I've been up here before. It doesn't make the climb any easier though. Hello.
It's super.
Yeah, soup would be great, please. Soup, maybe coffee. All right, put away my headlamp and put on some sunscreen. Getting ready for another day. Now I gotta head out in a big loop down to another aid station, and then we eventually make our way back to that one there that I was just at. Hello.
You want
Okay.
soup, pasta, bread, cheese?
Ooh, pasta, please.
Pasta, please.
I had some pasta, although I can only really eat a couple of bites, and then a bunch of fluids. And now I have to do this little loop and then join with the out and back again, back to the other aid station. And I've got a pretty big climb ahead of me, back up there. Okay, well, I'm about to start what I think is the last climb of the race, and it's sort of a medium-sized one, back up to that other aid station. And it got really hot on that climb up to the summit there. Definitely hotter than yesterday. And from this aid station, I think it's gonna be quite technical, so we'll see how that goes. I'm back.
With less than 30 kilometers to go, the course will descend steeply into the valley, passing through 2 more aid stations as we run along rolling terrain, crossing 1 more massive suspension bridge before reaching the finish line.
That descent was really steep. I think that's new this year. Before they just sent you down the switchbacks on the road that we used to climb up. And yeah, that'll pulverize whatever's left of your quads, that's for sure.
Okay, so it's Saturday morning. I had a good night's sleep. A few hours of solid, uninterrupted sleep. That felt fabulous. I was hoping to catch Jeff at least one more of the 8 stations, but it was a 2.5 hour journey, maybe even more one way. It looks like he moved really well throughout the night. Making really good progress. Last time I checked the tracker, he was approaching the 140K mark. So a few more hours and should see him through the finish line.
I feel really good all of a sudden. It's like I'm finally warmed up. Yes. Thank you. Hi there. I grabbed a few things from my drop bag. I just passed a few guys there right before the aid station who were all walking. I think they're still at the aids. So we've got 16 kilometers left now of mostly rolling terrain, mostly trail, I'm told, to the finish. Thank you. Okay.
Well done for your videos as well. I'm really a big fan of yours.
Thank you so much. What's your name? All right, just about 4K to the finish. Thank you. Yes, beautiful.
Very nice.
I earned that. I worked hard for that.
Looks like you left a little bit of sweat out there.
Yeah.
You're covered
Well,
in
no, a
salt.
lot of this is actually sunscreen. Yeah, because I've been applying. But this is all salt. Yeah, I sweat a lot.
It's so warm. It's so warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, babe.
I came to the Swiss Alps for the big climbs, the big descents, and of course, the beautiful views. And the Swiss Alps 100 delivered. But the heat was definitely an added challenge. In fact, the finishing times were slower this year despite the larger and deeper field. Nobody's ever run sub 24. I believe the previous course record was 24.5 hours. And this year, the winning time was just under 26 hours with that extra couple of kilometers, but I think mainly because of the heat. So definitely a challenging course, but by far one of the most beautiful that I've ever run.